Okay. What's up, YouTube? Listen. That was probably the least graceful hop on this big tall bed. But as you could probably hear, I don't have no business still being sick. But I still sound like Chucky Finster from Rugrats. But here we are. Here we are. I didn't press record to talk about being sick. But I wanted to share um something that was really like profound in therapy today. Um Shouts out to my therapist. Like I really appreciate him. And um the ironic thing is that I think we both were kind of like at first, because I was making assumptions, and I think he's probably dealt with similar, circumstances. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's probably a couple years older than me. And culturally, it might have been a thing where people would be like, but he's probably been the most helpful therapist that I've had, aside from um, our couples therapist. But like, shouts out to him, and it just goes to show that you got to give everything a shot, because if I listened to what everybody else was telling me, what the internet was saying, da 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 da, I would have ran for the hills, and lo and behold, he's my therapist. He's the person that's really helped really helped me gather the things that I needed, and not necessarily like coddling me or just trying to affirm, oh, that's really hard. That must be hard for you. Like, yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that. Like, that's cool, but I need, like, walk me through, not walk me through, but like help me come to a solution. Help me come to, something that can help me fix what's going on. They're not going to fix it for me, because that's not what therapy is, but that's more of them guiding you through and navigating you through the stuff you're going through, and in the most healthy and productive way. And yeah, if you just got, what I've experienced with therapy is just a lot of I don't want to say coddling, but mm, yeah, maybe a little bit of coddling, and maybe some advice based on some biases by that word. So anyway, like I said, my therapist is probably the least likely to be the one that people will be like, oh, that's who you went with, but that's my guy. And it's been the most helpful. I think I've been seeing him for probably 2 months, 3 months, and made a lot of progress. So anyway, specifically what I wanted to share was just, we were talking about YouTube and how I've just been posting videos and really diving into making the stuff for me, making the stuff that's coming from deep within, and how I've just released worrying about analytics, worrying about views, and that's also extended into my real life as well, where it's more of, I'm just going to show up genuinely as Jill, and stand up for Jill, and advocate for Jill. I think those mean the same thing, but um but one thing that he said to me was, and I am paraphrasing this because I asked him to repeat it, and he was like, I don't remember exactly what I said. I said, I don't either, but we're gonna paraphrase this. But he did not clear his throat before he said it. But he said, if you are your genuine self, the world will shape itself around you the way that it should. And that was so profound to me, because he just kind of said it like, just nonchalant, like he didn't just drop a bar. And I'm over here like, like, wait a minute. But it was just really profound to me, of just like, just show up as your genuine self, and the world will adjust around you accordingly. And it's like, what greater way to have the world adjust than in response to who you genuinely are, And that just spoke to me, and it really grounded me in so many different ways, because that's something that I'm stepping into. Like I said, the YouTube stuff is is me really stepping and becoming, the artist and the creative that I want to be, without worrying about how it's received, without worrying about if people like it. And in doing that, the people who don't like it will exit stage left, and the people who do, that's who I'm building with. And I think that that's super dope. And again, that is, it's like a microcosm of life for real, because it's just like, all right, well, let me apply that everywhere. Let me just be me. Let me be who I am. Let me be a version of me that 20 years from now I'm proud of. 10 years from now I'm proud of. Like, let me do things today that future Jill, whether it's next week Jill, 5 hours ahead Jill, 5 decades ahead Jill, that version will be proud of, either proud of or able to wholeheartedly say, hey, I did my best in that moment. And that's it, man. Like, that's like, we don't got to do nothing else. It's just like, we overcomplicate stuff, or at least I do. I say we, I might be putting y'all, I might be adding y'all into the carpool where y'all like, no, I'm not driving with you. But that's just something that I've been learning to really release and just be. People say that all the time, but I'm figuring out how to do that, because that's always been the hang up for me. Like, people throw out like little anecdotes of like, oh, you gotta love yourself before you love others. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. And it's like, yeah, I get that philosophy, but how do you do that? How do you really create the life that you want to live when you're not really sure how to do that, let alone you're not in tune with what that even is, So I'm enjoying the process of learning how to do this. I know what to do. It's the how that has always tripped me up. So I guess I'm just here to say, to reiterate, just as long as you show up as your genuine self, the world will address you accordingly. So show up the way that you want the world to mold around how you show up. And that's the therapy session. So I just thought that was really, really dope. And hopefully it helps somebody the same way it helped me. I'm a big advocate for therapy, and finding the right therapist obviously is essential. But yeah, if you're watching this and you've never tried therapy, I encourage you to try it. If you've tried it and you didn't really rock with it, I would encourage you to try another therapist. My current therapist is therapist number 4. 5 actually, but I'd say technically number 5. 5. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get off my little high horse, but definitely a big advocate for the right therapist, and therapy the right way. And Yeah, we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. Show up as your genuine self, and the world will adjust itself accordingly around you. Bars. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay inspired. Stay oh, hot dog. I'm going to blame it on the cold. Stay inspired. Stay encouraged. Empowered. Stay inspired. Stay empowered. And stay beautiful. Peace. I'm forgetting my shit. I'm going to blame it on the cold. Blame it on the cold. Bye, y'all.